Hello everyone, this is Santosh Joshi. I am currently in CA final and pursuing my internship. A warm welcome to all of you in this series named Talk with Topper. I am very happy, privileged, and actually honored to have with us Sakshi Aaron, who is not only the talk of the town today but talk of the country. She has secured All India Rank 2 in CA final examinations held in July 2021. She was also All India Rank 1 in her CA inter examinations, which were held in May 2018. So, first of all, heartiest congratulations to you, Sakshi. And I must tell you that it is the extreme proud moment for me to have you here.
Thank you.
So, before starting our discussion, let me give you brief background of Sakshi to you. Sakshi basically belongs to Indore, Madhya Pradesh, from where she did her schooling. She scored almost 93% marks in both SSC as well as HSC examinations. She cleared the CPT with mammoth 191 marks out of 200 and continued her form in CA Inter, where she scored All India Rank 1. Yes, correct. All India Rank 1 in CA Inter exams of May 2018. She did her articleship from Anand Saklecha and Co. and went for industrial training with Unilever India. I must tell you that this is amazing and this is something that everyone, the one who joins CA in 11th, dreams for. So let's start the discussion. So Sakshi, my first question will be, what was your instant reaction when you actually saw your result?
So actually, at the first instance, it was not quite believable. I had to recheck it twice to confirm that okay, it is all India rank 2 and with a decent score as well. And after that, it was numb for a moment because you see, entire 3 year efforts and whatever was going on behind those came to a fruitful end. So it was a numb moment for a time, and then I was elated. I mean, the whole family, relatives, friends, and everything was just so happening at that point of time.
Yeah, sure. It must be a next level feeling. So continuing that, I have a very basic question for you, which I think all the CA student must be wondering of. You know, how does it feel to receive a call from president twice in your CA journey? Right. So you were All India Rank 1 in your CA Inter examinations and now All India Rank 2. And I must tell all the people that she has scored only 1 mark less than the All India Rank 1. So how does it feel like? Does it hurt to miss All India Rank 1 by only 1 mark?
So definitely it does hurt. I would be lying if I say it doesn't hurt. It would be a achievement in itself if I had all India rank first in final as well. But okay, now I am over it as of now. So it has been a week since the announcement of results. And as far as getting call from President Vice is concerned, um, maybe I would say if I were to receive that call on a day other than the result day, it would have been more present, because on the result day, the first thought that comes to a mind when you receive a call from someone like him is that it is a frank call. Some of your friends messing up with you just to tease you. So every time it happens, you have to confirm from him firm that please confirm you are the president of ICI only and you are not a prankster and those sort of things. And after that, the discussion is pleasant. I mean, it is confirmed that if president is calling you, you are among the top 3. So you are just not you on the ground to feel anything or even to discuss anything with him. You are just jumping around telling your mummy, papa, and everyone that okay, my result has come and it is awesome. So that's how the feeling goes with the president call. But yeah, it is good to receive that call beforehand and be prepared for whatever is going to happen as soon as the result is announced.
Right. So it must be an amazing feeling, and I think there are like only a few people in our CA fraternity who will be receiving a call from president twice. So yes, it is a mammoth achievement, definitely. So my next question will be, it is often said in chartered accountancy that the 1.5 days of during the exams is the most important period that one could ever have. So how did you complete your course between that like 1.5 day duration? And did you feel nervous or anxious during that period?
The nervousness and anxious part is always there. I mean, you are always nervous about what would come in the exams, what should I study and how should I go, because whatever the burden is from previous paper, you either say it or you deny it, but it is always there with you that what I had done in that question, it might be wrong, what I had written. I usually had that feeling I might have misnumbered the question numbers only. So that sort of burden always carries with you. So the anxiousness and the nervousness is always there. But as far as the preparation time is concerned, my preparation was very simple. Whatever summary notes I had prepared for those 1.5 days, I would read over them and try to like focus on the moment as of now. And whatever I have always emphasized in so many interviews right now, that planning is the most important aspect that has been in my life. And it is all the most important during those 1.5 days, because I couldn't afford a 5 minute delay as well in completing any portion that I have allotted time to. So I make a very realistic plan for those 1.5 days and try to stick to it to the maximum extent possible, and to give me some slack or something that might happen during those days. I usually keep a 1 hour or 1.5 hour buffer, keeping in mind the paper that is at my hand, so that even if there are 5 minute, 10 minute spillovers, some things that I couldn't have any control over could be covered up in those slack period.
Right. True, that's true. Everyone is anxious, like let it be a ranker or one who has like attempted the exam a number of times. So, keeping in mind that you have scored like AIR 1 in inter and AIR 2 in final, everyone, including me, is very anxious to know what was your strategy for, let's say, theory papers and practical papers, and what, according to you, is the importance of institute modules.
I would like to answer the institute's question first. The institute material is the ultimate material that you should refer to. Your first and last priority, I would say. If there isn't anything, you should cover it at least the institute material, and that includes the previous questions, RTP, MTP, mock test as well. Not only the institute module that you get delivered to at your doorstep. So that is the first priority that you should look over. And as far as the study approach is concerned, it was the same in inter as well and final as well. Whatever is given to me, I would complete it completely. I wouldn't leave anything might be owing to a ABC analysis or something because it is of a low weightage, or I simply couldn't complete it. Because what happens is whenever you leave something, your mind diverts over it, that I should complete it, I should refer that to for it, I should refer that for it, and you just end up wasting time and not even completing that topic. So your basic focus to even excel in any exams, be it CA or whatever you are pursuing, is to complete whatever it is your hand and whatever your strength, your resources, your time permits to you. So that ensures that you have a comprehensive view of the entire subject, be it theory or practical. And when some unexpected or tough papers that we call it, or out of the syllabus questions come into exams, you'll be well prepared for it as compared to the other students who might have gone for a very summarized version of material or a ABC analysis who would have preferred. So that gives you an edge over those students and whatever you are doing in your course. And for specifying the approach towards theory and practical, the cue to theory is reading it again and again, keeping in mind the technical words that are being used, how they are written, in what context they are written. And as far as the practical are concerned, it is all about practice. How many questions you practice, how well you present them, and even your working note, the small calculations that we usually ignore to write it on the exam paper and just complete on the calculators. That part is also important, because I used to hear a phrase from my teacher back in my school days that if you're writing any paper, write it as if you're explaining that concept to a KG1 student. So that is the philosophy that I followed in my exams as well. I wouldn't miss a single footnote or any working note or that sort of thing. So that even if what happens is in C examinations particularly, everyone solves a question keeping in mind his or her own assumptions. Whatever he thinks he could make out of that questions. And if you are not even writing what calculations you have done, the examiner has no possible means available to him to figure out what was in your mind when you adopted a particular treatment for a particular item. So that is the basic understanding or the basic strategy about attempting a practical paper or a theoretical paper.
True. That's really very insightful. So it's often said that a practice match is very easy to play rather than like original match. In cricket, it is always said that. In your attempt, if we say like audit paper was amongst the toughest in old course, if we consider SFM was tough. So what was your time management strategy during those 3 hours? May it be audit or like let it be any paper. How did you approach all the papers within that limited duration of 3 hours?
The basic strategy I followed for every subject was clear that first I would go for the questions, be it MCQ or the practical, the long answer type questions, that I would attempt for those questions that I know the best, that I don't have a single shred of doubt about the what the answer should be. So that would give me an edge over time, because I wouldn't waste my time during this initial 1.5 hours when I'm the most productive, because once the half time is passed, you complete 1.5 hour, your mind is more towards the clocking time and less towards whatever the concepts you remember or whatever you are writing. So I made sure that whatever I could remember, I'm confident about, I would write it down on the exam paper within those 1.5 hours. And for the remaining 1.5, I will ponder over whatever questions I'm doubtful about, something it is difficult, and whatever things are, say, MCQs are sometimes like quite tricky. You could think of a possible 2-3 answers, or all the 4 options, you would find it okay, ye bhi ho sakta hai, ye bhi ho sakta hai. So I would then utilize those 1.5 hours, whatever was left with me, to ponder over those questions, so that whatever part I'm comfortable with, say I'm comfortable with a 40 marks or 60 marks portion, that okay, this is, no one can beat me in this. So I'm confident about that ki okay, 60 marks to mujhe aa rahe hain, and now let me ponder over what to do with the 40 marks portion.
Right. So to approach the easy questions first, rather the questions with which you are comfortable is the key that we can say. Okay, that's great.
And one more thing I would like to add,
Yeah.
once you attempt the questions that you are comfortable with, na, then the examiner would also obviously check your copy in that sequence only. He wouldn't go to पीछे से चालू करता हूँ मैं check करना. So whenever he finds a subsequent questions correct with proper presentation as well, he'll feel comfortable with your copy as well. I personally think so. So at that point of time, when he would reach a question that you were not comfortable writing with, he would already have a positive mindset about your copy. So maybe he would put in more efforts to try to understand it. Okay, let me give it a minute or two to understand what the student was trying to write.
Right. Sakshi, I must tell you that, in CA, hard work is required, smart work is required. But I must say that, you have analyzed all these CA things in a very proper way that, you are also thinking from the point of view of examiner, which I think is you will agree that, it was a core competency for you in CA inter as well as CA final examinations. Right. It's
You
great.
could say that.
Yeah. So I must tell you that, you did your industrial training with Unilever along with your articleship. So as we all are aware that, in industrial training you get a very limited leaves. So how did you manage to study properly and to excel in such a way that, you scored all India rank 2 after such a heavy timings in industrial training and getting such limited leaves?
So basically, it isn't about that I get up one morning at the end of my second year and I decided to pursue industrial training. That was not the thing. I decided to pursue industrial training right after, you could say, 1 month after I began my articleship, because that's when I knew that there is a thing called industrial training as well. So I started planning for it well in advance. I researched about it then, and I got to know that there is very limited preparation time available, and you couldn't afford to manage your time while you're pursuing industrial training, because there isn't any time to just wiggle out and do study in between. So I planned my things accordingly, decided I would complete most of the study material portion or the classes that I have to watch before I join the industrial training, leaving the technical or the law aspects which ought to undergo change by then. So I planned it accordingly, and I would say whatever the classes I had completed till the industrial training period, I took 1 or 2 revision for the same as well. So the portion that I had completed before industrial training when I was in Anand Sakleja and company, I was very well versed with it. I was pretty comfortable with it. So it wasn't that after joining, I joined industrial training in October 2020. So it wasn't that after I have to go back to those subjects again for studying purpose. Revision is a different thing, but not for studying purposes.
Right. So planning beforehand was a key, we can say, after taking that industrial training decision. So, Sakshi, in a very general parlance, if I ask you, what is your opinion about industrial training? Because I have seen many videos of ICI people, they are promoting industrial training. They have created an industrial training portal. We can do industrial training with some of the government agencies as well. So what do you think? Should one opt for industrial training?
I would first like to say that it is a personal choice of each and everyone. Nobody is bound by anybody's views, but as far as my experience was considered, it was good. I mean, you came across things that you couldn't have possibly might come across during your articleship days. Because what happens in industrial training, you are on the other side of the table.
Right, right, right.
So it gives you a complete picture that whatever you were doing, say nowadays this is 12 months or 18 months training or whatever the
Yeah.
period is, whatever you were doing during that period, what your client was doing to present those data to you or whatever reports he presented to you. So that gives you a complete view of the entire process that works. You get to know all the backward things, all the reco part that the company does, so that it presents a favorable and the correct image to you. So you get a complete understanding of the picture, and apart from that, it gives you a very early exposure to the corporate culture. And when you enter the corporate world, say an MNC like Unilever, at this point of time as a trainee, nothing much is expected from you. You are allowed to do as many mistakes you can, because they know you are so little, you don't have any prior experience, and you are just here as a trainee trying to learn, trying to do things as much as you can do. So they support you in every manner. They present you opportunities to learn, to analyze, and to do everything that is in their power. So that gives you very great exposure, and it makes you ready after the CA final results. Because to be honest, there is a thing, when you are a trainee anywhere, if your results are pretty favorable, your work was good, your attitudes were good, you already have some chance, upper hand as compared to the other students with that company.
Right.
So your stress after the exams is considerably reduced.
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah. Yeah. So continuing your, so what did you say? The corporate experience at an early age is the most important thing. So continuing to that, so where we can find Sakshi in upcoming years? Like, is Sakshi going to open her own firm? We will see her in corporate or like anything else.
For the next few years, you will definitely see Sakshi in the corporate world.
Okay.
And post that, she'll think about it, whether to go for practice or a management or anything else.
Okay. 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 That's great. One general question, like CAs are always compared with MBAs and all. It is often said that in soft skills we are lacking in soft skills as compared to MBA, and there are n number of issues as well. So what according to you can be the improvement in overall CA structure? Like during our attempts there was CPT, now there is a foundation, then we come to CA inter, then 2.5 years of articleship, and then CA final. So what according to you can be the improvement which will make CAs at par with MBAs in terms of soft skills?
Uh, it is my strictly personal opinion, but what I feel is the course structure doesn't have any defects in itself. Because you see, MBAs, that is also a strictly personal opinion, but MBAs cannot beat a CA on the technical grounds.
Correct.
CAs are much more knowledgeable than MBAs, but what advantage they have is they can present it well, they can communicate well. And what the problem with us is, we CA students are stuck with our studies all the time. Even if we do the orientation course or GMCS course that is supposed to make us ready for it, we focus just on completing those 15 days, 20 days, and just let it go, get the certificate and prepare for exams. And the other thing that is different is, when an MBA does an internship, he does it with the entire effort. He focuses on the presentation part as well. He will do the technical work as well and everything that is there. But when we do an entire 3-year training period, our focus is maybe for the initial 1 year, I could say, is on work. But for the next 2 years, we are entirely focused on studies. whatever is going on with training, let it go. We have to clear the exams. And what happens, I have personally feel with many students as well, when they are doing training, they'll prepare all the work and whatever it is there, but even when their principal or whatever member they are registered with gives them a chance to actually present it to the client, they'll hesitate. They'll not come forward that okay, I'll present whatever. What if something happens wrong? What if this goes wrong and the principal is up on me? And what if something bad happens with the clients? So they don't even take the initiative. So I personally don't think that until and unless we change our approach towards our articleship or the GMCS or orientation course that we engage in, there is much to be done on the course structure part to improve ourselves better. Because even if ICI introduces an entire 1 year to devote ourselves to the communication skills or presentation skills, we'll still complete it with the attitude of just completing it and not from the attitude that we should learn something from it.
Correct, correct. So like overall attitude change is required in CS students, that they need to understand the importance of soft skills, because in a long term there is a people management, resource management, and it's not only about the technical.
Ultimately, your technical, I personally believe that you will find a lot of many people to do the technical part for you, but what gives you edge is how you present those things.
Correct. This is
So
entirely
in the
true.
long term, if you want to be somewhere where you can be remembered, where you are earning well, respected, you have to be good in your people skills, because you will get many people to do the technical part or the back end work, but what you present to the people, how you talk to them, how you convince them into it, is the thing that will earn you money or respect.
Right, 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 right. Great, great. So Sakshi, very layman question. I will be appearing for CA final in May 22. There are a number of students who will be appearing for maybe CA foundation, inter, maybe final. So we have a like very layman question, like कि ranks लाने का secret sauce क्या है? Because because there are n number of people who are not able to crack the CA exam in first attempt as well, and then there is a one student named Sakshi Aaron who scored AIR 1 in one exam and AIR 2 in another exam. So what is that secret sauce and some kind of motivation that you can give to us?
So I would again like to quote a phrase that I heard from my school days is, if you get given 100% effort, you will get approximately 60-70% results. But if you put in your 100% results, 200% results, sorry, then there is a chance that you would be somewhere close to 80-90% result that you desire of. So basically, we students, CA students particularly, start with 60-70% efforts only. And then we expect that there should be 60-70% results. So that wouldn't be the case, no? You have to give your 100% at least to arrive at a decent 60-70% percentage, or whatever you could say rank. And if someone is preparing for rank, they have to apply 200%. By 200%, I would say outside the study bounds that are created by ICI or whatever coaching material, whatever reference material you are referring to. Engage yourself with the practical experience as well, with the connecting dots that aren't particularly going to be asked in the exams, but are there because it helps you enrich your knowledge, your understanding, and how you approach a question or whatever it is there. So that's the basic difference between the students who, I wouldn't like to say, but who score on a decent 40% marks for our CAs or a 60% with exemption, or persons who being end up with ranks. The percentage of efforts they put in are different. The portion of results each and everyone gets is simple, but how much efforts they put in varies with person to person.
Right, right, right. So so we will need to be like aware, like we have to give 100, not only 100% but 200% efforts to achieve what we dream for. Right, right, right. So Sakshi, I would say that it was a great interview. It was a great learning for me. During my CA inter, your exam were in May 2018 and mine was May 2019. So I watched your videos on YouTube and I got motivated to it with that. I almost scored nearby to rank but couldn't achieve that rank wala figure. But you were the motivation for me, and today being with you on this video call, I think it is a dream come true for me. So thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoyed the session, and any comments that you would like to give to us, anything about this video call.
Just be focused on what you chose to pursue, because this isn't school that teacher will come teach you what you need to study and there will be exams and all those. This is the career path that you choose for yourself. Whatever the circumstances were, you are into this.
Yeah.
So just complete it, because leaving something uncompleted or behind leaves a regret for life with you, that what if I would have completed that. So don't leave anything that you could have completed. Devote 100%, 100%, and as I said, 200% for even better results to the course and whatever you are pursuing. Then only. And sometimes what happens is I got questioned that I have to just block out everything else from my life. So that depends now what you want more badly. If you want to complete your chartered accountancy, you won't have problem in blocking everything else out. But if you want every other thing as well, you'll have time problem blocking them out. So it's up to you to decide what you want more in your life.
True, 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 true. So it's a determination that will definitely decide your future. Great, great, Sakshi. So thank you once again for being with us. It was a great learning experience. And definitely, I think it is insightful for all the students who will be watching this video as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, guys, for staying connected with our channel. I hope you all enjoyed and it was a great learning experience for all of you. So stay tuned and stay connected with our channel for more such exciting videos and more such inspirational stories. Thank you.